Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're watching The Expanse. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're watching episode 2 of season 6 of The Expanse. But first, let's watch the X-ray episode that I should have watched after the first episode. I did not have access to it on my TV. I didn't know how to get access to it. So now I know that you either have to have it on your PC or you have to have it on your phone. And I'm not going to record myself watching it on my phone. That's just stupid. So what I am going to do is record myself watching it on my laptop, which is not an Apple product. So yay. But I did want to watch these because I know that they are, I wouldn't say that they are important to all the rest of the episodes, but everyone said that like they're little featurettes that you should watch because they add to the story. They fill in like little spaces in time, or they give you little tidbits, or like maybe like little fun things that like maybe you didn't know that you were missing from The Expanse. And I know this one's called Ankawala, so I can see a picture of Drummer, but I had already figured that when somebody told me the first one was called Ankawala that it was about Drummer. Look, anytime that I can get these pieces and in every visual medium of The Expanse, I want to take it all in. You know, you only get to watch these things for the first time once, and I get to watch other reactors watch stuff, and that's awesome. I get to watch the old reactions to see if they reacted the same way, and then I get to see people discovering it for the very first time, and I want every visual medium I could possibly have, and I just want it to live in my brain for as long as possible. And I feel like I'm gonna start crying. So guys, let's just watch this first one, and then we will move on to episode 2, and then I will do the same thing with the nice harsh light. I'm missing one of my lights, and it looks like a hostage situation, but here we are. Okay guys, let's get into it.
As cells are separate but also make a body, so a ship is made from a crew and a people from their ships.
Would you rather die of thirst or be hit by a missile?
Missile will be quicker.
He's not wrong.
Do not be late. What deal is off?
What deal?
What choice do we have?
They need to survive. Hi, Michio. Seriously, just don't make her in charge of the button. It's that simple.
I did something.
Something.
Chama's private log. I broke into it and opened it.
Michio.
You need to know what's in
I don't
it.
care.
Like using a captain's log against them?
What, you thought I will forget?
That's not all she get.
You tried to warn me. And you were right. But I still believe that all Belters deserve to make the choice for themselves.
Nothing of Oksana or Bertolt or such.
Because she loves Naomi more. I got friends like that.
I'm truly grateful to him for what you did. Jim said if it hadn't been for you, Rosie would never have made it. I can only guess what it cost you.
A lot.
Kamina doesn't love us. She's chasing the one she couldn't have and making do with us.
Oh,
None of us came
shut
here without
up.
a past. Not you, not me, not her.
Bad poly family to get jealous.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not. You tried to turn him against her.
But only if you promise to never do it again.
I won't have the chance much longer.
Which now I'm thinking is the right call. It's amazing how I go from sympathetic to like, get off the ship. Oh. Oh. Well, I'm glad I watched that. Okay, I'm glad that I watched that because like I had like a lot of sympathy for Michio. Not that I'm like, dumb bitch, get off the ship, but I'm just kind of like, you're not built for this. Like you're not built for being on the ship. You made a mistake that was a grave mistake. You went high instead of low. There were two options and you were literally staring at the one and you hit the wrong one. And I'm like, well, if you're really suited to be on the ship, she should keep you on the ship, and obviously not. But then, being dishonest and breaking into somebody's private log is essentially like their journal or their diary. You can't be trusted anyway. You can't be trusted to push a button. You can't be trusted to mind your own damn business. And it doesn't really matter what's on this hand terminal, right? If she kept only things from Naomi, it was because that was the person that she thought that she had lost, right? Ashford's not on there. Nobody else from the crew is on there. Oksana's not on there. She might have done the same thing where she's just like, I'm just going to delete these because some people don't need that. And she starts deleting Naomi's. So it's not like she's like now just like selecting one person to care about. Like that's like, have you guys ever like gone through your things and you kind of just like threw away things that were like not important whatsoever, but then you still had a pile of things where you had to like sort through and then evaluate which one you were going to keep and which one you were going to throw away and like maybe which one you're not sure yet. And so like you'd start thinning everything out. And I feel like that's all she was doing was thinning out her messages. And then finally, the final ones to get rid of were Naomi. I don't know. Drummer doesn't strike me as super sentimental, like where she like has to hold on to things. I mean, she could have held on to that bottle of alcohol from Ashford for forever, but she decided she was going to drink it. Like I don't know. I don't know. Michio definitely, well, she might have been onto something. I don't think that she was hitting a target by any means. And especially the dishonesty of going through it. It's maybe you shouldn't be on this ship. Maybe Drummer does know what the fuck she's talking about. Okay, guys. Back to episode 2. So as you can see, I found a way to watch the x-ray footage and do a recording for it, albeit by smashing my hair. Also, the light might look a little different, and that's because I can't have my other light on when I'm watching on my other computer. So you guys can tell me which light you actually prefer. Which looks better. I don't know. I'm a creature of habit, so I might not change anything anyway, but like you can always just tell me your opinion. That's fine. But previously on the last episode, we were introduced to a planet at the very beginning, which had funky birds and funky dogs. And I don't know if we're necessarily going to head back there and spend time there, but I would like to. I like all that sci-fi shit. I love that stuff. I want more of that. But I didn't know if we were just on planet 2 and that's Laconia, or if the whole thing is Laconia and that's just the thing above Laconia, with the proto-molecule kind of surging through it. I don't know what Kodazar is doing. I don't know what that whole thing is going to be. I don't know what the plan is. I don't know if we ever get a resolution on it. I feel like when you only have 5 more episodes, like they either have to jam pack these episodes with so much information that it's overwhelming, or it's just going to exist after the series ends and you never really get a resolution on it. Season 7, please. Again, I don't even know what the books hold. So like season 7 might not reveal shit. Anyway, so it would be cool if we got to see a little bit more of that. But I thought it was really interesting that I thought Marco and everybody had headed through the gates and went off to New Worlds, but then it picked right back up with him on series, with Anderson Dawes being dead. Thank you everyone on Patreon that told me about Jared Harris and that like he'd have to do like the 2-week thing in a hotel because of COVID, and then he'd film for 1 day, and then he'd have to do 2 more weeks at the end to go back onto the show that he was on. So they just couldn't film something that they wanted to film. I think that would have been amazing, and it was really cool that he even wanted to do it. But I guess off-screen death is what we're gonna get. I don't even know if they really even needed to kill him off. I feel like they could have just said that like Anderson Dawes is missing and then bring him back or something. I don't know. I feel like an off-screen death for Dawes is I feel like we needed a bigger payoff because he was a big player for a really long time. But we did get to see Marco walking around Ceres just being the king that he thinks he is. It's horrible, but it's really interesting to see the relationship that he has with Philip and how that has not even progressed. It might have even regressed. But how like everyone's chanting Marco's name and everyone knows who Marco is and they're supporting Marco. I don't know about everyone either. The people in the vicinity were, but I don't know how the rest of the Belters feel about Marco. But definitely Philip is having a hard time, not only with what he did, but then his father kind of almost belittling him every chance he gets or not treating him as an equal. And I'd say that Philip kind of does that to himself, arriving late, not kind of like, I don't know. I feel like if he sat down at that table and he sat down and he was like very, astute and was very much having a conversation with everybody instead of just flopping down and being like a teenage boy, I think like he would have been received differently. But like we see him kind of having a moment with a young lady at the beginning and, a love him and leave him kind of situation. And then when he goes to the bar, he's kind of flirting with the bartender and she kind of just shoots him down. And I really thought like Marco was going to go over and flirt with her because I was like, that's exactly what his dad would do. And like, oh, you didn't win her over? Watch me win her over. I can get her. Because I'm Marco. With a fucking top knot. Who fucking thought that was a great idea? Just give him short hair. Anyway, I digress. But then later on, we see Philip trying to flirt with her again, and I don't think he likes being told no. Not for the fact of like his father, but like I feel like the abandonment that he feels because of Naomi, that him asking for female attention, whether it is of his mother, of the sexual variety, or just anyone just like flirting with him or whatever, that rejection hits him very differently. And you could totally see that like he doesn't like it, not necessarily being told no because he's an aggressive and he just takes what he wants. It's because it's a woman that has rejected him. And then he kills his friend, which was shocking because now I don't know where you go. Now you're a murderer. I mean, he's already a murderer. He already murdered millions of people, and he could barely bear that, let alone now somebody he was close to. I'm expecting Philip to crack, like fully crack, like not recoverable kind of crack. Now there was a spotter ship that was sending rocks to different places, and they were able to control that because of the reactors that they strapped to them. Such a smart idea. And they don't even have stealth tech, so Earth knows that they're coming, so they're able to play defense, but that's like kind of keeping them busy while Marco's kind of doing things on the belt. Smart. It's a great plan, and it was executed very well, but of course, James Holden and Naomi Nagata, there to ruin everyone's plans. It's delicious. I love it. But they're going to try to find the spotter and hopefully stop these rocks from heading to Earth. And it seems that Earth is not faring well from these rocks getting through, whether they were big, whether they were small, whether they are, doing damage or they're just adding to more environmental factors. But we see Christian outside of like this cornfield, and she's talking about like 11 years earlier, that like the stalks were bending because there was like so much corn on them, and like then you just see snow, and it's a nuclear winter. The one thing that Marco didn't think through was the fact that you need Earth's soil to grow food. And while you can recycle it, like you really need like fertilizer and the freshness of it. When we saw Holden and Bull like kind of trying to find Monica, they went to a container that contained soil first, and it had like oxygen and all sorts of stuff in it. So it's like they need that soil to get to Ganymede to help build their crops, and they're not going to be able to do that if they keep destroying the Earth. Like you can't destroy the thing you need to survive. And Marco is he's not perfect by any means, now is he? But like that's something that like you're a little dumb, Marco. Like stop throwing rocks because you need that planet in order to survive. I know you don't want to want that planet in order to survive, but wanting and needing are two different things. Now, we also see Christian in space on her own little ship. It was really interesting to see her floating in 0G and not like, have blood coming out of her like she's coming off of the Razorback. But, she's kind of enjoying it a little bit. She's finding some silver lining in it a little bit, that the weight of like the universe is off her shoulders. And the best thing is like her and Bobby, because Bobby is, I'll just say Frankie, she has like some kind of great comedic timing. Like she's just really good. Her pauses are just long enough. And her face that she makes is just amused enough, not to where it's just like goofy or silly, but it's enough for us to like giggle at it. I really like those two together. But it seems that Christian has a plan. I don't know what the plan is. Hopefully we launch right into it in this episode. But I'm sure it involves Holden, because she was talking about Holden and the spotter ship and Naomi. But then we also have to kind of, we need to fix the tiff that Amos and Naomi are in over Clarissa. I think Holden has every reason to not be happy about Clarissa being on the ship. But Holden, as we've seen, doesn't really hold grudges. And if he does, it's not like an emotional grudge. And Naomi's been through some shit. She's been through some shit. I'm sure she blames herself for Alex's death. She lost her son. She probably feels that Marco got the best of her, and that Marco is now playing like the victim card for Philip, saying like, oh, your mother abandoned you again. I just watched the X-ray feature for Ankawala, and she definitely knows what it cost Drummer to save the Rossi. And now she's going after all of these people that are Belters, like people that she knew, that she loved, that she cared about, or people that are from where she's from. And that's really heavy for her to deal with. Both her and Holden look like they have not slept well in a really long time. But you know who looks well rested? Amos. Because he's not wearing the weight of the world on his shoulders. That's just not something that he does. And he's got his buddy. It seems like having Clarissa around, it makes it a little bit lighter. It's not quite the heart that Alex would bring to the ship. I mean, definitely, I felt that then on that first episode. That was definitely missing, not having him there. Jesus, I took one sip of wine and I'm already a mess. But seeing Holden piloting the ship, and then Naomi saying she's never piloted the ship, Amos kind of looking at the plaque before he steps outside, like it's heavy. It's a lot. I miss Alex too, and it's not fair that we had to say goodbye. And before I get all angry again, I don't think anything could really substitute the heart and the levity that Alex brought to the crew. I don't think it's Clarissa, if anything. She makes it worse. And not even on purpose. Like, she's doing her best. She's trying everything that she can to just, I think, probably stay out of Naomi's way. But Naomi she's got a lot. She's got a lot going on. Damn. I hope it gets resolved. Not that I definitely want Clarissa on the ship for the rest of our lives or anything, but I feel like, she's made amends. She's done her best to make up for what she has done in the past. I forgive her, which that means a lot, because I pretty much have been anti-Clarissa for a really long time. And I am definitely not pro-Clarissa, nor is she in my top 10. So I'm also not calling her by that name. Okay? I'm such a shit. I'm not doing it. I don't know where the nickname came from. She doesn't know where the nickname came from. And you guys can tell me the whole Peach Melba thing. I still don't believe that that's where it came from. I think that they just picked a cheeky little name and gave it to her. And I'd really like to hear where Amos came up with it. I'd like to know why he calls her Peaches. Does she got a nice ass? I don't know. I'd like to hear it from his lips. to my ear. That would be lovely. Oh my. Thirsty little gal strikes again. But yeah, there was a lot going on in that first episode, you know, but there was also not a lot going on in that episode. And I think this is the one where it's really gonna ramp up and jump off because, you know, the stuff that we got from Drummer and Michio, like, I don't know, like, if they're just gonna drop her off and then Michio is going to, like, give information to Marco. Like, I feel like she's a loose end that you don't necessarily want to have out there. So that's why I was like, just give her a different job. Just give her a different job. Like, she doesn't have to, like, do anything of any importance. Like, there's all these people that they're bringing onto the ship. Just let her clean the laundry or, you know, do dishes, cook meals, welcoming committee, you know, just to have her stand there and look cute. I don't know, but, like, just don't put her in charge of the damn button. Okay, guys, I'm going to stop fussing. I'm going to stop delaying any further. I want to get into my glass of Pinot Grigio. I want to get into this episode. I don't want the series to end, but I want to see this conclusion that we have gotten for our group, for our crew, for these people that I know and love, and I don't want to say goodbye to. But I'm preparing myself for it anyway. Okay, guys, let's get into it, and stay tuned for the X-ray after. I don't know where after. After I've done watching it? After the commentary? I don't know. Me and Xander will figure that out. Okay. Now let's watch it. I can't believe they killed him. I mean, I can. Yes.
I gotta get help.
They named her Kara? Oh. You can get run over by a car on another planet? You might as well just be on Earth.
You have to help her.
Oh.
Please help her, please.
Baby, I'm sorry she's gone.
No. No, she can't be.
Well, there's your lesson in death, kiddo.
I only give her some of my protein bar, only a little.
Oh.
Okay. So everything here evolved in its own way. That's why we have to grow our own food instead of farming the things that are here.
Mm-hmm.
They have a different kind of chemistry, which doesn't work well with ours.
Yep.
I mean, I poisoned her?
No. It's not your fault.
Maybe it was allergic to nuts.
We have to put them back in their nest.
We can't. The soldiers called a meeting. We have to attend. All the settlers do.
Can I go with you?
Sorry, sweetie. This is a grown-up thing. You have to stay here.
I thought they said all settlers. Let the kids go too. Oh. No, kiddo.
I messed up. I have to fix it.
No, you don't.
Sorry, but you have to stay here, okay?
Girl, you're gonna die. All kids are the same. It doesn't matter what planet they're on. Oh. Is she going to pick them up and put them back in? That's nice of her. Now drop them and make them learn how to fly. Don't go after it. You're gonna die. It's the face eater.
What? What is it?
Don't talk to him that way.
Go away.
What is that thing? Don't eat it.
No, hey, you can't have that! That's not for you!
Circle of life, kiddo. There's our girl.
That feels kind of nice, huh? Everyone being on the same side for once.
Right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Good hunting.
You're asking the wrong person what feels good. Amos doesn't care.
Your mission specialist is transferring over now.
Or what?
Your mission specialist?
We weren't expecting any.
Can't speak to that, Captain, but the orders came direct from the Secretary General herself.
Is it Bobby?
Peaches,
Go to 2, please.
He just called her that?
Are they?
No, they're not here for you.
But just go to your quarters and stay there until you hear different from me, okay?
Okay.
Well, that was nice of him to protect her. It better not be bull. Yes, yes, yes.
Bobby.
Permission to come aboard?
Of course, permission granted. What's going on?
Change of plans. Time to lock and load.
Oh, you know when Bobby says that, some shit's going down. I don't know what Goliath means on that box, but I'm definitely thinking it's a big fucking deal. Oh my god. Bobby on the Rossi. Oh, Bobby on the Rossi. I'm so excited. Yeah. Still, the nuclear winter part of that is heartbreaking. I try to stay so sharp during these so I can catch stuff. Yeah, there's like still like that one figure that flashes across the screen. Yes. My besties. Well, hi at least. Oh. Hey kiddo. How you doing? I am so disappointed in you.
Let him out.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't do that.
Oh.
We have laws on the station.
This is a Free Navy matter, and I will deal with it accordingly.
Above the law, I see. Just another Anderson Dawes.
Johan assaulted a superior officer, and you defended yourself. That's what happened. I would think that the embarrassment you've become since we've arrived on Ceres would be punishment enough.
Oh.
From Palace, Sin and I would go out after our shifts. The next day we were both back on the line. We couldn't fuck up because we didn't have anyone to bail us out.
Grow up, kiddo. Sometimes Marco actually says things that are like legit, like what you should say to your son. Like we fuck up when we get back to it. We don't drown our sorrows. We don't feel sorry for ourselves.
Boarding and shooting is a whole lot riskier than sending a torpedo up their ass.
Don't you worry your pretty little head. That's what I'm here for.
I'm sure you will.
Trust me, these fanatics are not going to surrender, Naomi. It's...
Naomi needs a Snickers and a nap.
Force the airlock. Boom, 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 boom.
Boom, 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 boom. Done, done. I like it.
Are you getting paid extra for this?
Jesus,
Not in it
Amos.
for the money. Ah, this is one happy crew.
Oh. Hi.
And speaking of crew, Bobby Draper, Clarissa Mao.
Hello.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
You're free to move about.
Thank you.
I'm so glad Bobby is here. That interaction between her and Amos was something. It's never like warm. There's never a warm fucking welcome for her. Like ever. Like I just feel like everyone always has a chip on their shoulder. Except for Alex. When it's Alex, it's the other way around.
This the cargo?
Michio.
We have a problem.
That would be?
The Free Navy has taken over security on Ganymede.
You can't get her through.
On Golden Bow.
Golden Bow is Free Navy.
Some more than others. Marco Iñeros, he doesn't like me.
Which means I like this guy.
Sexually.
Oh.
Mostly transfer from Ganymede and City.
Transfer? To where?
Supply depots. Marco spun them up all over the belt.
This might be a good time for a tour, after all.
What you thinking, drummer? Oh, that stupid bun. Ugh. Although it does show off his bone structure, so I'm not that mad at it. But a short haircut would do the same thing.
I heard about Philip.
Everybody heard about Philip.
Philip has completely lost his focus, no self-control.
That seems to be the consensus.
Oh no. Everyone's saying it?
Sounds like his mother had a lot to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was his fault for bringing her amongst us. Cost us all.
It was there long before Naomi ever came back into Philip's life. He missed having a mother.
What do you want for him?
I love him.
Do you? Do you know what that means?
That word means different things to different people.
I need him to be the man he should be.
Are you planning on staying angry with him until then? I only ask because I think you have more important things to worry about.
Yep.
Like our war.
Rosenfeld's like on it.
You know everyone else here is afraid of me.
What's to be afraid of?
So, you're welcome. You know where his supply depots are.
It would be stupid to cross Marco now.
Would it be?
By talking to me. We only need the ones who are tired of licking the floor for scraps. The ones ready to snatch the food right off Marco's table. Like a true pirate would.
I love her.
Johan had family, an investor. They should be compensated for all he did for the cause and would have done.
Johan assaulted you, and you defended yourself. If he had survived, he would have been punished and then discharged. We don't owe his family anything.
Optics.
All right, never mind.
I'll have the quartermaster arrange to give Johan's family a month worth of fuel pellets and some new mining nets.
Thank you.
A good person in there. Just been corrupted.
My name is Philip Inaros. I was a friend of Johan's. It was... Johan, he was...
Can't lie, can you, kiddo?
My name is Philip Inaros. I serve with Johan in the Free Navy. Supplies are being sent to you as tribute for his service. He died honorably, serving Marco Inaros and the belt.
Talked her out of it. I didn't even get the chance. She didn't consult me on this. Jesus.
I think it's really interesting that Christian's so deep in space right now. Super cool spotter. I'm getting so giddy for some more space shit. Give me all the space shit. Okay, we got Naomi, but where's Bobby in her armor? It's alright, Naomi.
How do I get one of those suits? You'd only hurt yourself, Pee-wee.
Y'all know how much I love Amos, but I like that Bobby is in no way intimidated by him. Like even this music, like Clinton Shorter is just so good at like creating suspense with his music. Get him!
Shit, they saw us.
The door's open! Fuck! And Bobby's still standing.
Everybody break!
Oh, fuck. That makes my lower back hurt, Amos. Oh! I love it. 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 I wish Alex was piloting, but I love it. Fucking Bobby!
They're trying to burn us up in their drive plume.
No shit!
Go, Bobby, go, Bobby, go! Oh my god! Oh my god, Bobby! Oh my god, Bobby!
Naomi! Where are
you? Oh no! Oh no!
I got it.
Oh, that poor baby. She's so traumatized.
I'm fine. Hatch open. Starting bypass. It's like they made this out of old scraps. Nothing here makes sense.
We're ready for breach.
You got this, girl. You got this, girl.
Thank you.
Guards are in place, ready to breach. Bobby, you coming?
I always freak out when she starts getting shot, and I forget that it's Bobby in her damn suit. In her suit? She can do that? Oh, she threw up.
Damn it, I have to get her back to the Rossi ASAP.
I don't even know what happened there.
How's Peaches?
She's fine. She really saved my ass out there.
Good. She did good.
She did do good.
I'm alright.
Really alright or not ready to talk about it alright?
Not ready to talk about it.
Second one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Holden's the best boyfriend in the world. Oh. Cool.
Holy shit. Motherlode.
Oh. There's a ship called the Pella. You could send them towards the Pella.
Come.
Monica. Delgado. Someone else. Monica.
Miss Stewart. Thank you
So
for...
what happened?
What makes you think anything did?
For the past several hours, every officer on this ship has been walking around as if their sphincters had just been tightened by 3 notches.
I want to commission a project from you. I want the belt to see what it's doing to us. I'm not asking you to lie for me. I'm asking you to tell the truth. Not just the statistics, but what they mean. The lives we've lost. Or don't. And wonder, with every new attack, if that was the one you could have stopped.
Oh, Christian.
You chose not to.
So manipulative. Yeah, Monica, wow is right.
You give a really good guilt trip.
Mm-hmm.
I practice a lot when I'm alone.
Interaction I didn't know I needed, but I loved.
You mind if we talk? Sure, go ahead.
Without you.
I understand.
I don't think you really do. I'm the captain of this ship, and as long as you're part of the crew, you do what I say when I say. You see a problem, you talk to me first.
She's part of the crew?
I'm sorry, it won't happen again.
Good.
Why am I smiling? Stop it.
You know you just got chewed out, right?
But it's
That's
Holden.
The first time he said I was part of the crew.
Yeah. Aww. Gotta stop making me smile about Clarissa.
The Azure dragon is gone, and no indication it was destroyed.
They captured it.
Uh-huh. The worried look on your face brings me joy.
They'll redeploy their fleets and head out.
Yeah. Time to worry that pretty little head of yours.
No need to be so glum.
Really? You look worried.
Let them come. We'll be ready.
Will you? I don't know. I don't know. He looked worried. He looked worried.
The doctrine of one ship describes a system of unities between home and society, work and rest, fear and hope.
It's very weird to see her in the bridge of a ship.
It's a trick question. It's all pretty bad.
Just get on with it. Our own air and water killing us.
Yeah.
We're all builders now.
What's the old saying? Nuke them till they glow and shoot them in the dark.
Okay. I don't know what I just looked at. I don't know why that scared me. Yeah, you're running a planet, madam. Always have to be at the ready.
I know how busy you are. And Mom said not to bother you. I started a garden. I've got some tubers, and the sprouts are really taking off.
Aww.
Shah Jahan, that's him. He helped fertilize the soil, so you don't have to worry about us, okay? I'll make sure the whole family has fresh vegetables to eat.
It's nice to imagine people on Earth doing whatever they can to help each other, even just a little. When I get back, I want you to make me a salad from your garden.
Aww.
The medication we discussed, please have it waiting in my quarters.
Yes, ma'am?
Tell Sadiki to move his ass. We have a lot to do.
Can't read it. Okay, so on the end of the X-ray thing, they have, or on this X-ray thing, like it's smaller than I would like, and you can't make it go full screen, and you also don't get captions. So the medication that Christian's talking about, I have no idea what that's for, other than the fact that she said that the air and the water on Earth are killing them. I don't know. Is the medication for that? I have no idea. I can't read the screen. Okay, and I'm back. So, okay. Looks like Clarissa is part of the crew. It looks like Naomi is very much struggling with what she's gone through. Like, that's a lot of trauma. She's been through a lot. Not being able to jump over. I mean, I get it. She's done a lot of space jumps. It's a lot. I like Clarissa, like taking charge and getting over there to help Bobby, using her mods to help Bobby. You know, obviously it saved Bobby's life. Most likely Bobby would not have been able to take that blast because of what even Amos said, like what it did to the hull of the ship. And I kind of missed what had happened there. But then having Amos say that, I was like, oh, okay, I get exactly what had happened. And like Holden just kind of being like, hey, like, if things change, like you need to talk to me, you're part of this crew, and it was like Holden's way of saying like, you are part of this team. Thank you for what you did, but also don't do it again. And like her having a tear, like here's the thing, like I accept Clarissa for who she is now. Again, I'm not gonna use that name, and even Holden saying it felt so dirty and weird. I didn't like it, but. I do like this iteration of Clarissa, and I do like Amos around her. He seems very happy and relaxed and at ease. Like he's got his buddy, he's got his friend, he's got his pal, and I think that's great. I don't know if there's more there. I don't think Amos has that capability, and I don't know if Clarissa also has that capability, but I do think that there's a dependency on each other just a little bit. Maybe not a dependency might be a strong word. Maybe a reliance. It's interesting. I dig it. But what I also dig, the friendly relationship that Clarissa and Amos can have is the contentious one that Bobby and Amos have. Okay, so like, I love Amos. Mad crush. Everyone knows this. I just think that he's wonderful, but I love the fact that Bobby is not intimidated by him whatsoever. And she kind of treats him like she would, like, you know, any other Martian Marine, that like she's better than or above or stronger or smarter than. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I knew immediately when they said the Secretary General was giving them a specialist to come on board. I was like, oh, it has to be Bobby. It has to be. But I hate that Bobby never gets a warm fucking welcome. Like, ever. Ever. It doesn't matter where she goes, what ship she's on, who she's talking to. It's just, she's like, hey. And they're like, what? You know, it's just like, damn it. Come on. And the only other time that like somebody tried to give her a warm welcome, which was Alex on Mars, she like was like sick of like just fakeness and niceties. She just was over it, and especially that god awful bar they were at. But you know, like she just can't ever get a warm fucking welcome, can she? Another pairing that I'm really excited about, and I didn't know I needed, but I want more, is Monica and Christian. Like, Monica isn't really intimidated by Christian either, and like kind of calls her out on like, yeah, like you want me to be a propaganda machine. And Christian's like, no, I want you to report the truth. I just want you to make everyone feel bad so they know exactly what they're doing. And Monica is just like, oh, wow. Wow. Like when Christian says like, oh, if there's another attack and you could have prevented it, like, wouldn't you feel horrible? It's that Christian that put like the Belter up on hooks, you know, she's still got that viciousness in there, but she's Christian, so she's fucking awesome. Top tier. Now, what's really interesting is that I'm not a fan of Marco. Think he's a horrible person. I don't particularly dig him as a leader. And he's not that great of a father, but every now and then, like he has a fatherly moment where I'm like, and then of course he dashes it almost immediately, but you know, like kind of like telling Philip, like no matter what you did the night before, you get your ass back into action the next day. And I was just like, that's like something that most dads I think would say. He had another moment where, you know, I kind of forget like where he was telling like Philip, like, don't let your feelings run you, you run them, or something along those lines. Like, you know, you don't let them control you. And like every now and then he has those little nuggets where I'm just like, And then when he is talking to, and I've already forgotten her name, and I really like her because like she 100% is not afraid of Marco whatsoever. But when they're talking, he's like, you're not afraid of me. And she's like, no, you're welcome. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but you know, she kind of gave it to him straight, and he has to really like think about like Philip, like he's still a kid, and there's a lot of pressure on him. And while it's not Philip's fault, what happened with Naomi, yes, he brought Naomi on the ship, but I think Philip's just a kid, and he's just doing things that kids do, but it's on such a bigger scale with heftier consequences. And it's actually nice to see Marco a little bit like upset, not necessarily at Philip, but like at this whole situation with Philip. But I also think that like a lot of it's avoidable. You know, if you could be there emotionally for your son, I think that like his friend would still be alive. If you could be there emotionally for your son, he wouldn't have needed to, you know, find his mother and bring her along. You know, like if you were emotionally there for your son, he wouldn't try to act out for your attention. It is what it is right now. Gosh. So with Drummer and the Golden Bow guy, I already forgot his name. And I was like, oh, I'm going to hate this guy too. I don't hate him. I mildly dig him. But I like that he's not loyal to Marco. I like that he kind of sees Marco for what he is. And that he's not like this great leader, but like, oh, he's got, you know, great eyes and beautiful hair, you know, and that's like the thing that like I focused on. And then I was like, oh, he's awful. I hate that guy. And I feel like a lot of the factions probably feel that way, and they're just kind of biding their time a little bit. But like Michio, like after watching the X-ray and all that thing, definitely her being on the ship is a little dangerous, and you can't really trust her. But I do think that like those kind of people that you need to keep close by and keep an eye on. So maybe not trading her to that guy is smart. So then with Drummer and Walker and kind of the whole let's hit Marco at the supply depots. So because you see Marco talking with Rosenfeld about like trying to get supplies to Medina Station and try to get it there the quickest way possible. And he seemed really stressed when he was like looking at those routes. And now you have Drummer talking about attacking the supply depots, like with the rest of the Golden Bows that at least are not loyal to Marco, which I think is delicious and delightful. But hitting him there because, like I said at the beginning, like not having Earth, like actual like soil Earth to get you your food, those supplies and not having them, like that will hurt, and that will hit hard. And it will make him very uncomfy. And we also saw, you know, like on Laconia, I believe it's Laconia, that like the little girl feeding her protein bar to the bird, and that's what killed it. You know, it's just like these ecosystems, they don't mesh well. Just because there's oxygen, it doesn't mean that you can survive there. It doesn't mean that you can grow crops there. It doesn't mean that it's a good place to, you know, live. And then I don't know what was up with the dog thing taking the baby bird, but like that girl was like, she needs to stop trying to save the birds. She killed him. Yeah, she needs to stay inside. But like you could see that like how important it was and how it is that like you can't just go to a new planet and survive. There has to be Earth for you to make your own food, because you can't eat what's on another planet. It will kill you. So good luck, Marco. I mean, you know, I know that there's a heftier security in Ganymede, I think they said, which is obviously where all the food is. Oh no, Prax is there. Well, it'd be really cool if we saw Prax. I don't think we're going to see Prax, but it'd be really cool to see Prax again. Not only taking the Azure Dragon away that, you know, is able to send the rocks elsewhere, but then hitting him with supplies. I mean, I feel a little bit of delight knowing the agony that that's going to put Marco in. I will say that like this season seems to be going by like a lot quicker. Like the episodes, they seem to be filled with a lot more visuals. Like a lot of the space stuff takes a little while longer to show, and there's a lot less story being told. And like the stuff that we get is great. It's just not as in depth, I think, as the rest of the seasons. And I'm not saying that that's like good or bad. It's just it feels like a little bit of a different show with the same players. And I do appreciate the dialogue and the in-betweens that we get, you know, of like, you know, Naomi having kind of like a conversation with Bobby and being like kind of short and curt with her. And it just really goes to like kind of add to the situation that Naomi has been through something. She's tired. They're all tired. They need a win. And I think they did just get a win with the Azure Dragon. But I definitely think that they're all at the end of their ropes, and we only have 4 more episodes to go, and I want a happy ending. I believe we'll get one. I think it'll be good. I think it'll be delicious. I think it'll be satisfying, but like these people need a break. I enjoy every minute of it, but they look tired. Somebody said that Steven Strait lost a bunch of weight because he really wanted Holden to look exhausted. He does. He certainly does. Okay, guys, if you want to watch the full-length reaction to this episode, it will be available on my Patreon, as well as up to 2 episodes early at some point. I'm not going to be able to say that anymore, but those will be available on my Patreon as well. But in the meantime, like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Like, have you guys watched the X-Ray shorts? Like, I get frustrated because they're small and I can't see anything, and then there's no captions, so I don't know necessarily what I've just heard. I didn't really think I was somebody that relied on captions, but it has become apparent that I do. But, you know, I definitely enjoyed the one with Drummer and Naomi. It kind of gave a little bit of backstory about like how Drummer definitely, cares and loves for Naomi, and it really affected her, thinking that she had lost her friend, and it definitely affected Michio thinking that Drummer cared about Naomi more than anybody else. It just happened to be the last couple messages that were on there. I don't necessarily think that that's true. But then seeing Christian and getting the message from her granddaughter, and it's really uplifting to know that her granddaughter is, creating her own crops and getting her guinea pig to fertilize the soil. I don't like to think about where my food comes from. I don't want to think about the animal that was slaughtered, and I don't want to think about the fertilizer that goes in the soil of the vegetables I eat. I don't want to think about it, especially after watching The Martian. Ew. Okay, guys, we've got 4 more episodes to go. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really excited for it. I do need to go and buy more wine because I have now finished my Pinot Grigio. So it's getting closer and closer to the end. And while I'm excited, I'm sad at the same time. But catch me here for episode 3. It's happening. All right, guys. I'll see ya.